Well, today's a good day for videos, I guess. Hopefully it's not going to be too windy to hear, but I wanted to just show you something here. So I'm putting in a 90-degree elbow here for a fitting, and I need it to end up coming more or less straight out this way, kind of how it is. Now it's not tight yet, but I just wanted to share something. So, you know, for those of you who've done this before, you probably know this, but if anybody hasn't, as you're tightening this, you want to kind of gauge where you're going to end up. Because if you need to end up in a certain position, you don't want to get it to a spot where it's too tight, so you're not going to be able to get it there. So basically, as you're coming in, you want to be feeling, okay, I'm getting pretty tight. Do I have enough to go? Because if you over tighten it, the problem is you could crack something, but then also you could overwork the threads, and so now you kind of, you know, because it's a pipe thread, right? So as you're going, I've gotten it in maybe like one rotation around. Also, I just barely can clear this hose here with the way it is. So thankfully I had to take off my hose clamp and loosen it, but let's see if I can do this one-handed, okay? So I'm coming in tight here, or just snug by hand. And obviously you can't feel this through a video, but judging by where I am now, I think by the time I make it around, that's going to be my tight. And, you know, it's better to err on the side of caution and maybe have it a little loose and have it leak than over tighten it and be really hooped. Because now once you over tighten it and you mash your threads, now it's going to leak regardless, unless if you way over tighten it again. Or, you know, or you take a pipe thread tap and tap something out a little more. So let's see if I can get in along here. Okay, so I'm not like tight, but I'm starting to get snug. So I guess what I'm getting at is don't just go in there and you know, start tightening it down and then hope for the best. You got to really pay attention to mapping it out if you need it to end up in a certain location. So let's see. Yeah, this is probably going to be just about perfect. And did put a little bit of Teflon on there, just one lap around with the Teflon. And okay, let's see here. Change my wrench a few times here to get in, but sorry if the video's a little shaky. Just trying to get in here without smushing my hose there. Move it down a little bit. Okay, so we're coming in kind of where I want it to go. Now I don't have to be straight on 90. Let's see if I can get it in here again. There we go, perfect. So I'm getting snug, and I know there's a good chance, it could, if this were a straight fitting, I'd probably try to get it tighter than it is now. But the problem is, I have no idea. If I start going, I might max out like here or here, and then I'm hooped, because if I go any farther, I could risk damaging something. I could risk cracking my manifold here, because it's a pipe thread. So keep that in mind, that, you know, as you go in, it's made to, the threads are going to be an interference fit the tighter you go. And that's going to be a large part of your seal. A lot of times you can actually run these down with no Teflon or anything, and you'll be fine. But I normally just do one quick loop around there. So anyways, a little video on that. Hopefully you'll find that helpful. I made a video earlier today talking about these different fittings, so that's actually what's in action right now here. So this one, once I get it, I'm going to snug it a little bit more, because I can come up a little bit like here. So for my rooting, you know, I can kind of mess with it a little bit, but you definitely don't want to over tighten it. And, you know, worst case scenario, if it's leaking around here a little bit, I'll take it off and maybe put more Teflon. That's the other thing too, you know, if you need to kind of split the difference. Like if you got it tight as you kind of think you can without going too tight, and it's still maybe leaking a little bit, we could try putting on another coat or two of Teflon, and that'll help tighten your threads down. So kind of where I'm going to end up is, right now I'm shooting down like not quite straight. So by the time I can get flat here or come a little bit up, and then I'm going to route my hose underneath here and back through the cap. I'm going to make a video of the heater box all installed once that's done. But anyways, I figured this is probably long enough for what I needed to say. But hope that was helpful.